Hi YouTube, I hope you're all doing good. Just a minute. I had a video, it was buffering and I thought I had shut it off, so I hope you're all doing good. I'm having a not too bad of a day, except for my hair does not want to behave. So, um, we have a rainy day here. I've been thinking about the times in my life where I had tried to build a relationship with my narcissist. I mean, as far as things that I wanted to accomplish and building things together and, stepping in life with the same mindset. You can never really, you can't depend that where you're wanting to go in your life and where they're wanting to go are the same path. Uh, as far as, okay, say like if I wanted to build something on the property, or even if we both had talked about doing something like that, um, I found that I either have to do it by myself or it won't be like, maybe not like ever how I want it done, or that it's such a struggle to try and do anything with these people. Even if it's just getting in the car and going to the grocery store, it becomes a major fiasco in one way or another, you know. So I have limited, I hardly ever go anywhere with him. I, unless I feel like I have to, or if I want to, like, just get out of the house or something, but not very often. It's not something I would recommend if you're still living with somebody that you have to try and work things through in life to even live your day-to-day life. I wouldn't recommend going anywhere with these people. I have a lip list today because I bit my tongue. Last night I was trying to eat too quick. I was upset and I was just trying to eat to get my energy and I bit my flipping tongue. Ouch. So, yeah, it's not the best day in the world. So, this is a side of my face I was punched on. I was going to call my adopted dad one time. I was in Minneapolis coming from Montana, and they lived outside of Minneapolis. And I was just going to, because it was a local call, and back in those days, um, to pay for a long distance call was really expensive. So I picked up the phone, and my first husband grabbed the phone and hit me so hard. I was 17, hit me so hard here, it knocked it out of place over here. And I ended up losing 3 teeth on this side. They were cracked and they got infected for a while. But if you see, my face isn't quite the same. Well, it used to be. So that's and then I've been hitting the front of my mouth. I bent my whole face. In fact, I have a mark right in the middle of my chest where my sternum was broke. I have a punch mark big around as a man's fist. It broke me there. I've had my cheeks and my ears, and you would think, well, why didn't she leave? Because I couldn't, you know. And the last time I had help in my life, but it was a real dangerous ordeal to even try and separate myself. And I'm still not safe from that person. So, yeah. So yeah, you get injured a lot if you're around narcissists. You might notice that one way or another your body is going to be affected, if not physically straight up. And oh, by the way, there's times like if there was it wasn't safe to call the police for me either because they didn't care. You know, I found that out a couple different times. So, anyway, maybe some of you have been through that, but other people still think, well, it's not like that. Yes, it was like that. So, and I've had my nose broke. And you think, how could you break an ear? You can break an ear. That really hurts. If you ever been hitting your ears, they'll ring for a long time. You have your own personal music, you know. So yeah, yeah. I still get a kick out of the people that pretended to be my friend because they were from Bruce Seasall's channel. Or if some of you are still here, thank you so much. But for the ones that could hear what I had to say, what I went through, and ignore the facts or not care about the facts, that's mind boggling. But whatever. Because truly, I mean, not that I would, but if somebody was yelling in my face, like what happened on that channel, not Brucey's all, but his brothers, I would want to slap that little punk's head off. And I guarantee he would not even have that tone of voice around me. So, or if he's stupid, he might, you know. Well, yeah, come to think of it, people are pretty stupid nowadays. JP, Awaken with JP had a video titled, Are People Stupid? I'm thinking, would you really have to ask? Most people are pretty lame, you know, when it comes to, I mean, not only, well, common sense, that's, wow, that's not common, you know. I started saying that a long time ago, you know, and academically, holy snikey. Whoa. That's, although people are a lot, um, some people are a lot more interested in learning than a lot of people, say, even like 20 years ago. It's more like a fad now. Like, look how much information I have, or look what I know now, type of thing. And it's like, yeah. And I was in the library when you were home eating your peanut butter and jellies and watching Romper Room or whatever, and that's true. So, and in fact, even physically, I would try and get my friends to come out and do something with me, and they're like, well, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, whatever. Just, but all what I'm saying is absolutely true. Um, Although narcissists get bored, I like to keep active. There's a little bit of a difference. I keep active because I like to keep my mind active and my body. Um, Narcissists really don't like to keep their bodies active. Not really, not in any extreme. If they can have you do everything for them, they would. I mean, entirely everything. Yeah. And you really don't know it when you first meet them either. They seem so lively and like they go out of your way, like to appear hardworking, and you know, somebody you might even want to build your life with because you're thinking, geez, I'm hardworking too, and they love people just like I do, and they kind of interact on the same level and all that. But there's something there that's just creepy, you know? But you don't really catch it because society has conditioned us to kind of overlook, like, well, everybody's created equal type stuff. Yeah, in the beginning, maybe in the beginning was way back when, and none of us are equal to our potential, you know? Just thinking out loud, you know? Cheers, everybody. Mm. I debated on whether to make the video or not. I thought, yeah, what the heck. I really don't I don't have a whole lot to say, but I usually, speaking from my heart, come up with, whatever's going on. You know, I predicted, well, it's not a prediction, but pretty much, kind of, sort of, that the next things that'll be going on in society here will be the fake alien invasion, and and that'll bring me back to the beginning of a different kind of human too, and martial law in the streets to keep people in your houses forever. Those are the two things that are coming up here. The other things upsetting you will be, oh, they'll be shutting down the power. But I do, and in fact, that's probably when they will implement the martial law, you know, and they'll probably blame it on the aliens or Russia. But yeah, still, although people are different on the inside, like whether they act more from their reptilian brain, the base, like, oh, I'll find the word later, but, or maybe I won't, but, that human beings' potentials have really regressed because of thinking from the reptilian brain, the more, um, like barbaric, like, more carnal in your carnal mind. The whole world is more carnal now by the decades. You can see it in increments. Yeah, there's always been a certain amount of whatever on this planet, but it's way worse. Maybe because of the multitudes of people, it appears to be worse, but I don't know. It's just like with people's closeness and human connection. That's I don't think that even friends are loyal friends like they used to be. Or maybe that's the way I always wanted them to be and didn't find any, you know. I had a friend of mine when I was 15 get my lifelong friend since we were babies. I'm named after her sister, my Susan Park, and got mad at me because the guy that she eventually married was talking to me, and I really had no interest in him whatsoever. I was interested in somebody else and I'm loyal. But the look she gave me and the way she treated me after that forever, it never went away like I did something to her. Isn't that crazy? Well, that's kind of a narcissistic trait too, you know. So it is. I see it pissed her off because she was used to being the golden child, you know. So in life, you know. So but that one day it didn't work out like that for her. And it was stupid because we were all playing basketball and being that I'm tall, you know, I'm like and athletic, you know. I don't know. It was jealousy. The first time she had ever really experienced that towards me because she had always been in the limelight in our lives, you know, which I didn't have a problem with because I loved my friend, you know. I didn't want to be here, but I loved her, you know. But I mean, society would look at that time in my life and my parents and people I was around, like blonde, blue eyed, and small, was kind of the in thing, you know. And like I say, I like me. I don't want to be like that, but I loved my friend for who she was, you know. But I didn't kind of get the same thing back. And I don't a lot, and I can understand that. You know, society is kind of, it's upside down, you know. Yeah. Is it upside down like the women have to take control? Or is it upside down like they used to be? Or is it upside down like men should be? Or is it upside down like men used to be? Or should it have a perfect balance like, and nothing is physical when it comes to this, that both minds should be working together. And when people try and say there's like different species of human beings, um, really? Hmm. Still, I have never encountered one, but I don't know. I'm still alive. It might happen. I might see a human do something inhuman, you know? I mean, more inhumane, human than what I've witnessed, you know? But they're going to keep pushing what the substance of God is through the flesh. They're going to try and prove what constitutes like we are gods, not that we are gods like his children or their children, but in meaning plural, like there's a mother, a father, and a child, probably a set of twins. Wouldn't that make sense? One of each gender, or even quadruple, four of them at a time. And that really makes the most sense from anything the more I think about it. So, with the spoken word, flesh can be held together. And the first being was spoken with vibration into existence from God. If that was the female carrying babies or eggs that could be inseminated, true science, real stuff, not this fake crap that they're trying to push out here on everybody. You know, I'm thinking of things logical. And to me, that's like a female Aquarian trait. Male Aquarians, you don't have this. You don't think as logical. You're more in la la land, and we're more sensible. So, because we're moms, if we're moms and you're Aquarian, you know what I'm talking about. And if you have Aquarian male friends, they're more likely to be flighty and like fickled in their life, like they don't know what they want type of thing, and they have a hard time controlling their um well, they have a hard time functioning. Oh, let me put it nicely for Aquarian men that do have it together. You're rare, and I'm not talking about you, but you probably know other Aquarian men, flaky. That's the word I'm looking for. If you're not a strong minded Aquarian, all the bad traits, you're flaky as hell. If you can't control that wild shit in there, you got problems. Big time. Excuse the sound of my pump. Yes, we live in a place where we have to dig our own wells and put our own well casing, sand point, and a pump on it, or a cistern pump, a hand pump that we have. We also have a creek and pond and another part of a pond. So we have a lot of water around. And artesian wells deep in the ground, right below where I'm sitting. Our water is literally in between two gigantic pieces of granite. We just happen to be able to get down into a vein, and that water is so clean. It's wonderful. Anyway, yeah, just thinking things out loud today, like I said. And, I think my point is of this video is how they really are trying to push that God actually gave birth to himself. Through the sea of people, Christ came up with the Spirit of God. It wasn't an actual birth. It's all spiritual. All of it is spiritual. And they're trying to make it. It's like your reptilian brain makes you more reptilian. If you're going to use like your spiritual, like your ethereal sense, your like your frontal cortexes for reasoning and logic and all those good things. They're not your base self. They're kind of a outside antenna that we listen to, you know. So, like your third eye, you know, up in that area where you have to use your thought processes. That's a lot of what I've seen in abusive families. They try and they do hit their children in their heads on purpose to injure their heads. And you can look at many narcissist abuse survivors, and they're lumpy. and they look ratty, and you can see the abuse. They can put on makeup or nice clothes, get haircuts, and have nice glasses or suits or whatever you wear. But the lumps and the scars are there, and you can see them on these people. And nobody deserves to be brutalized like that. So if anybody's watching me and thinks that I did anything to ever deserve being brutalized or manipulated or any of those crafts that they do to people, you have some real emotional problems to work on for yourself, you know? Or if you know people like that, cold hearted, you really have emotional mental problems because I can spot the people that have those scars. Even the emotional scars, it's evident in their eyes, you know, so, or all of the above. Spiritual scars. You can see my aura to see all that if you're looking deep enough. Because I'll make you look in the mirror no matter what. When you come here, I'm always gonna put God in the picture and reflect back at people. I do that. You can do that to me too. I welcome people. Please judge me. Do that. That's what you are supposed to do. This judge lest you be judged. Oh, shut the hell up. And I do mean hell up with your shit. Because there are people that came to judge. And if you feel like you're one of them and you're willing to be judged by God by judging somebody else, that's your sound judgment on a situation, like who you want in your life and the things you want to do, and not going along with the crowd, but actually blazing your own path. Um, and then if somebody isn't on that same path, and you might be the trailblazer, then you're open for ridicule. That is true. But I'm out here blazing a path on the internet saying the narcissists that have like live streams and bait people and manipulate people all for the sake of image, your days are numbered. And so are your subscribers. Oh, that reminds me, I have a new subscriber. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Welcome to the family. Because I do have people that I know are close enough, if actually not related, that watch me, so, that I would call family. Let me see if I can still, what was I? Pretty much making the point about judging people. Who cares? Really? It's my words, your words, and we each have our likes and our dislikes in life. Does anybody really care? Are you going to harm somebody? If somebody says they don't like me, is that going to harm me? Hurt my feelings for a while, but it's not going to harm me. You know. That just makes me more clear on the people that do like me, you know. So judge away. If you're standing strong that you're a good person and you're righteous and your heart is clean like that, judge away. That's my advice. I don't mean like you know what I mean. It for your better judgment on any given situation. As long as you're rolling with God, you have the better judgment already. It's like when a friend might want you to do something a little creepy or shady and you use your better judgment and you say no. And like that's not cool. I'm not going along with that. Or if you do that, you can say goodbye to me type of thing. That's your better judgment. If that person turned around and got on social media and said, well, started a smear campaign, well, you're a bad person because you didn't go this direction with me, it's too bad, you know. Then you're separating the wheat from the tares, and you know you can stand before your creator with a clean soul because you didn't do that stupid shit, you know. So who you listen to, you know, I mean, we all have our own minds, but there's an inside depth of who we are, our integrity, and what camp we really belong in. You know, it's spiritual. It's not anything physical, sexual. You can't describe God who keeps holds us together with energy in a sexual manner, especially a perverse one. That's so up, and I'm so sick of it. But you know, it'll come out in the wash. It'll all get cleared out. But you know, what I really just described to you really makes logical sense, and it does, and you know it does, because you can't. Biology cannot describe life. Science on this planet, with all its numbers and I mean, go ahead and tell me they know the genome and they know what constitutes DNA and stuff. And I will tell you that I don't believe they know as much as what they are saying because they still not cannot create life from scratch without God's material to begin with and the spark of life. So, well, I think that's probably about it. You know, I was pretty much just thinking there was something else. I don't know. Maybe it'll come to me. I'll have a cigarette if I get cut off. I love you with all my heart, but I'll stick with you a second. I think there was something else. If not, it's cool. No big deal. But I think I was just really trying to articulate, trying to build a life with somebody that has set patterns that you don't recognize are different from yours to begin with, and you fall into a trap um, of difficulties of certain things that seem like it could just be, oh, it's like a coincidence, or, you know, like, okay, so I didn't get to work on time, or I didn't get to study for this test, or something, you know, shit happens and that type of thing, or, you know, we didn't get the roof put on because of this, that, or the next thing, or whatever, you know, little things